How can I speed up the rate by which I have influence with other people? One tool that gets used a lot is called contrast. Contrast presents one or two alternatives or options and makes one of those seem more desirable than the other. What influences the other person is obviously one of those options appeals to them more effectively. Think of how these tools get used in advertising all the time. Pay me now or pay me later. Think about in the corporate world something like preventative maintenance. Most organizations don't want to spend money now on fixing things that aren't broken. And yet, if you allow things to go on for too long without being addressed or maintained, what's going to happen? Something breaks down, something goes awry, and the payoff that is necessary long-term becomes much larger. And so what you need to do when using this tool, find options you can present where one of those options seems inherently more desirable than the other. Think of the numbers of ways that we use contrast. When we show pros versus cons, we're doing contrast. Cost versus benefit. When you're using benefit versus benefit, what are you doing? Return on investment. And so we're going to list all of the options, and the one that has the higher return uses contrast to say it's the better path for us to take. And yet think about those of us who purchase things. Is the low-cost provider the one that we always go with? And the answer may be no. So what do we do when we are spending organizational funds? We create a decision matrix, and we will take into consideration cost, quality, delivery, and all of the variables so we can compare apples to apples. All we're doing is using contrast. It is an incredibly powerful tool to use when you're attempting to influence others.